Hello everyone, I'm Teacher Joseph, and we're going to continue today looking at the crisis that our Prime Minister is currently facing here in the UK. As a result of the Jeffrey Epstein papers being released, there's a number of questions, and one in particular is regarding somebody called Peter Mandelson, who was appointed as British ambassador to America. Critics are asking, why was he appointed? What questions were asked at the time of his appointment around his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Allegations have been made that Peter Mandelson, he was known as Lord Peter Mandelson until last week. Allegations have been made that he passed confidential papers regarding the market over to Jeffrey Epstein. We simply don't know. But our Prime Minister has been asked to disclose everything that he knew, and also phone records, text messages, etc., from various individuals have been demanded because the opposition and MPs generally, our parliament, want answers. They want to see exactly how all of this came about. There's now a police investigation, and we're going to read about that now. Right, you can see here that we're on the Sky News website, and you can see here, please search Mandelson properties and car. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit about that. And there's a message here to the Prime Minister. It says, reveal if you saw Mandelson. Epstein warnings, Prime Minister told. So let's just have a little look at that one first. Right, so Sky News is telling us Labour MPs, so Labour currently is our ruling party. It's a bit confusing when they report politics, isn't it? So Labour members of Parliament, in other words, the same ones as our Prime Minister, they urge Keir Starmer to reveal if he saw Pear's warnings about Mandelson's Epstein links. Right, so let's just see if we can work out exactly what's being said here. Lord Glassman told Sky News he flagged his concerns to Downing Street, but received a discreet suggestion to basically shut up. So Labour MPs urged Starmer to reveal if he saw Pear's warnings. So Pear, in this case, is talking about Lord Glassman. You know, our House of Lords, our upper chamber, those people are generally referred to as peers. There's a number of different meanings in English of the word peer, but this is basically saying, well, did he know about Lord Glassman's warnings? This is from Alexandra Rogers. Let's see what she has to say. There's a video clip there, but let's see what she's written. Okay, so it says here, Labour MPs, that's Labour's members of Parliament, are urging Sir Keir Starmer to reveal whether he saw a report by an influential party peer that warns of Peter Mandelson's links to Jeffrey Epstein. Labour grandee, I'm assuming grandee in this case simply means someone who's very well known within the Labour movement. He is a peer, after all. Lord Glassman told Sky News last September that he had flagged to Number 10 about the pair's relationship, but was met with a discreet suggestion to basically shut up. And of course, in the world of politics, I'm sure that happens quite a lot. In an interview with Sky News, Sophie Ridge, Lord Glassman, suggested he was asked to report to Number 10 about the pair's relationship, and he did, but suggested no action was taken. They asked me to send a report, and I sent a report, he said. I did say when I got back, I would think again about this publicly. Then I did get a discreet suggestion to basically shut up about that. And I did. Right, so this is a Sky News report that we are currently going through. And you can see here that there's other headlines as well. Please search Peter Mandelson's properties. Can Starmer survive? Other things as well. So Sky News has approached Downing Street for comment on whether the report was passed to the Prime Minister. So Starmer must reveal if he saw Glassman's report. This isn't just about Glassman, though. I mean, we have to say that when Mr. Mandelson was appointed as the ambassador to the USA, he was asked very specific questions. They knew that he had links to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein had been convicted before that. So there's all kinds of questions that were asked. And these papers are now being released so that people can examine them. But this story is asking, how much did Keir Starmer know? So the next natural question, of course, is, can Sir Keir Starmer survive? Well, of course, they always act strong and have their answers ready, don't they? Up until the time that they disappear or finally cave and give in to pressure. There's no immediate signs that Keir Starmer may quit, but I think when divisions come up within your own group in any club or society, then of course you have to think very carefully, because unity is the cornerstone of anything that gets done. We don't know if he will quit. It could be that there's other options open, but one thing is for sure, that his career as Prime Minister has taken a particular hit. There's been many other U-turns, many other signs that things have not been well. And another question, of course, is, well, who would replace him? There's been talk for a while of trying to remove him anyway. And is this the right time to do that? There are elections coming up, local elections in May, which are considered also to be very bad luck for the ruling Labour Party, because forecasts would suggest that in the local elections, the party which runs the country, the party which is our central government at the moment, isn't going to do very well. Let's go back and look at another story now, just to see exactly what's unfolding. Right, well, we're just looking at the headline of the Independent newspaper here. It says at the bottom there, it says Mandelson's homes searched by police in Epstein probe. And this is because they feel that Mr. Mandelson had passed confidential information over to Epstein. I mean, I'm not sure what they're expecting to find in all of this. After all, if he knowingly did give government information, he's not going to keep it, is he? He's not going to have it in an envelope marked information I gave to Epstein. So either they know exactly what they're looking for, or this whole thing is just symbolic. Remember that the police have a lot of autonomy from the government. This wouldn't be something ordered by the government. They obviously think there's criminal intent. So, if you come from a country where the police just work for the government, it's not like that here. The police do have a lot of autonomy. They do what they want, and if they don't think there's anything related to a crime, of course they'll tell the government, well, no, we have no evidence. So they're obviously looking for something here. And yes, just above that, there's a separate story about one of our serial killers. But anyway, let's just have a read at this. It says here, officers raid properties in Wiltshire and North London as part of investigation into the disgraced peer. We came across that word earlier. Peer is someone who is in our House of Lords. So this man, Mr. Mandelson, was also a peer until last week. The disgraced peer's alleged leaking of sensitive government information to paedophile financier. Police searched 2 homes linked to Peter Mandelson yesterday after the peer was alleged to have leaked government information to Jeffrey Epstein. The Metropolitan Police said its officers carried out 2 warrants in Camden, North London and Wiltshire. It comes after emails released by the US Department of Justice suggested Lord Mandelson sent confidential information to the US financier and sex offender. The scandal has piled pressure on Sir Keir Starmer to release all vetting documents related to the appointment of the peer as US ambassador. Lord Mandelson has not been arrested as inquiries continue. Right, so we're just going to go through this newspaper a little bit more just to see what else they're saying. Okay, so let's just move along here. Here's another page. Please search Mandelson's properties in Epstein probe. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, these documents reveal that Mr. Mandelson's partner received money. I think it was between £7,000 or £10,000, a very small amount by today's standards, for a course he was doing. But presumably, Mr. Mandelson is a very rich man. So I'm not sure I understood why money would need to be exchanged for that kind of thing. And this is one of these questions that isn't clear. There's a lot of issues surrounding cash with regard to Mr. Mandelson and money exchanging hands. And there's just no answers. It doesn't mean wrongdoing. It just means it's something which isn't clear. So searching Mandelson's properties is one thing that's going on. There's Sir Keir Starmer there. So there is more about him. There's Mr. Mandelson on this picture here. But it says here, how easily could Starmer's own party force him out? Well, let's have a little look at that to see. And there he is with Mr. Mandelson. So we're just going to read this. It says here, Labour MPs are deeply angry with the Prime Minister following the Mandelson revelations. Many have said that the Mandelson saga is the biggest political scandal to hit Britain since the Profumo affair more than 60 years ago, if not ever. Just to give you some background, the Profumo affair was a sleazy story in the 1960s about a politician who was supposedly involved with 2 prostitutes. I understand, just from memory, one was Mandy Rice Davis and the other was Christine Keeler. And of course, they've both been, well, Christine Keeler wrote a number of books, I think. The Truth, finally the truth. Now I tell you everything. Yeah, I think Mandy Rice Davis, she became quite a successful businesswoman. She was running a nightclub in Israel, I think, last I heard of her. But anyway, that was the Profumo affair, long forgotten, but it did rock the establishment here. And they're saying that this is something similar. And if it is, then yeah, I think people will almost certainly be asked to resign, at least the Prime Minister's secretaries or assistants. It says here, this may be historically inaccurate, that it's the biggest scandal to hit Britain since Profumo. And the media speculation overheated, but that doesn't detract from the fact that Labour MPs, already frustrated by a series of missteps, resignations, and U-turns, remember the identity cards, have been shaken by the Epstein revelations. And they're deeply angry with the Prime Minister. They talk about getting rid of him, not for the first time. Building. Yeah, okay, right. And then it's just telling the story there about John Profumo and the Profumo scandal with Christine Keeler and Mandy Rice Davis. I don't see their names there, but that was the Profumo scandal. Can Labour MPs organise a challenge? Yes, and it's relatively easy, at least in principle. And in the current circumstances, all they would need is a fifth of the Parliamentary Labour Party, 80 MPs, to commit to a challenge and be willing to have their names published. So it goes on to say that they could do that if they wanted. So you can see there that there's almost certainly pressure. And oh yes, there's Christine Keeler. I remember her. Yeah, she only died, I think, in the last 10 years or so. She died, as far as I recall, in some kind of obscurity. She passed away some time ago. And there's John Profumo. That's a very interesting scandal, if you like history. Right, so it really is too early to speculate whether he's really going to quit or whether they really will get rid of him. But this, along with other failures or mistakes that have been made or U-turns, along with the fact that he's becoming deeply unpopular, as well, of course, as the approaching council local government elections, where his party is due to be wiped out, the future isn't looking good for Sir Keir Starmer either way. One thing, though, that is quite troubling at this time, of course, is how moral our politicians get. I mean, this really is becoming, did Mandelson lie? Did he tell us a lie? And this argument, which tries to formulate this good man, bad man, shows how they're looking for someone to blame. And Keir Starmer, of course, they're looking to him as well, saying, well, did you really tell us the truth? And it becomes this kind of like moral vacuum. It's not really about Mandelson or his appointment or Jeffrey Epstein. It becomes, are you a man who told me a lie, who didn't tell me a truth? And this is something which comes up in UK politics a lot, about the integrity of, did you tell me the truth at any point? Did you lie to me? Very interesting. And we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I think after looking at this, I think Sir Keir Starmer's career is certainly going to be affected. Does that mean he'll quit? Does that mean that people will be working to remove him? Does it mean that he won't win the next election? Well, one thing is for sure. it's very unlikely he's going to last until 2029, which I think is when the next general election is supposed to be. I would imagine he'll be gone quite quick. What that looks like, though, and who will take his place, who knows? The Labour Party, I think if Keir Starmer is removed, they will have to find someone within their own ranks to replace him. Wes Streeting is on the cards there, but then he's enjoyed a really good friendship with Peter Mandelson, so who knows? 24 hours in politics can be a very long time. There's some other stories surfacing today as well, such as in The Guardian, where they're now using other stories about Keir Starmer and his past to make us all think, is he a good man? Is he honest? Should he be our prime minister? So you see, there almost certainly is coal being put on the fire, hoping to bring his premiership to an end. The one worrying thing, though, is when everyone is bitterly complaining about Keir Starmer, if there was a general election, who would win? And maybe if people stop to contemplate that, they wouldn't be so quick just to condemn Sir Keir Starmer. Yeah, he's not ideal, but at least he comes from one of our major political parties. In the future, as parties which were on the edge of politics, like the far right, grow, there's more chance that reform might get in. And depending on your views, well, that's going to be very controversial as well. So I would say we should just be thankful for what we've got, because the alternative could be far, far worse. Well, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. And of course, I'll be keeping you up to date with exactly what's going on here as our government looks less and less credible. See you next time. Bye.